Hello Nigeria, hello Africa. You're watching Plus TV Africa and the program is Sports Business with Orufuo Ezaga. You know, sports is entertainment, huge entertainment. And that's how we see it mostly in this part. But, you know, underneath it all, there's huge business that goes on in sports. And it's the business that determines the sort of entertainment that you get at the end of the day. Today, we're going to be talking about something different from the usual, not just sports. We're going to be talking about the guys who make sports, more interesting, the people who tell the stories, and the people whose passion drives the entire enterprise in this country and across the world. But as you would know, our program is focused mainly on what happens in Nigeria. Today, joining us would be two special guests. First is Miss Justina Aniefiok. She is a photographer. She's a CAF and FIFA accredited photographer, and she does a lot of work in Nigerian sports. We're going to be asking what she's doing, how she's doing it, and what we can learn from that as people looking for different opportunities in life. And then there's also Mr. Amaechi Nnaemeka. He is he's the founder and the CEO of Amaechi Foundation podcast. Basically, what he does is that he supports the MPFL, and then he particularly supports Rangers International of Enugu. Now, in today's world where much of Nigeria has been invaded more or less by foreign sports properties, it is heartening to see a young man who is trying to build this interest among the young people in this country for our own Nigeria Premier Football League. As if you're a regular listener of this program, you would know that we say here that sports business is basically local enterprise. And until we fix our local industry, chances are that we're never going to, get anywhere close to maximizing the opportunities that sports business offers any business person anywhere across the world. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'd implore you to hang on for the next 45 to 50 minutes because we're going to take you on a dizzying ride through sports. And as is the nature of the program, you would know if you're a regular listener, and if you're not, it's the nature of the program to go on a short break afterwards so that you can have time to balance, as we say in local parlance, to look forward to what's going to happen. And you could invite a friend or two to join you, because you never know what you could hear, what you may hear could change the way you look at sports business, sports itself, and maybe the business that you do. It could open an opportunity for you or your organization. So stick with us. We'll be back shortly, and when we return, the business begins. You're welcome back to the program Sports Business with Orufuo Ezaga, and you're watching Plus TV Africa. We're reaching you live from our studios in Victoria Island, Lagos. In the studio with me is Miss Justina Aniefiok. You're welcome to the program, right?
Yeah, thank you.
She's a photographer. She's a guru. She's a bit of a guru in the industry. She's a photographer, and she's going to be talking to us about how young women are coping, in the sports industry in Nigeria. There's a rising number of young people getting into the industry, and she's one, and she's going to be talking to us about that. And joining us via Zoom is Amaechi Nnaemeka. Hello, Amaechi. How are you? Hello, Amaechi. Hello, Amaechi. Okay, so let's talk first about the Lagos Access Bank Marathon. I don't know if you were there this year, but did you guys get any invites to come and cover it? What do you know what the process of covering the Access Bank Marathon was?
Yeah, there's always a media accreditation for journalists interested in covering each games, either athletics, football, or any other games. There's always a process. So you need to apply. When you apply, you get an approval. So you go to the nearest center and pick up your accreditation tags, and you're good to go. So no security will harass you, nobody will harass you. But for this year Lagos Marathon, I was not around, so I've been going, but it's just this year that I was not available for it.
Okay, so when you go to a place, in the years that passed, when you went for the marathon, for instance, what did you covered it?
Yes, I do.
And your how did you benefit from that financially, for instance?
Yeah, at first I was just like, oh, I'm always football.
Okay.
So let me just let me go for the Lagos Marathon. And I would say is kind of a little bit stressful and risky, because one, you are following the athletes running. I'm always on the bike, on Third Mainland Bridge. Anything can happen, yes. Although the roads are free, but when the bikes are moving, if you are not the kind of person that is strong, you might want to like shake or fall from the fall. Is either you fall or your camera gets spoiled. But for me, it has been a very wonderful experience for me, at least doing that and taking away fear and all that. But at the end I started doing it. I would just post my pictures, and anybody that wants to use it can use it. But it got to a point, like I think, was it 2023 or 2024 marathon? So some people do reach out to me. Oh, we see what you do. Can we get some pictures? So from there, we just discuss. I sent few pictures to them, and that's I would like.
And you get paid for that?
Yes, I get paid for that.
That's interesting. Okay, so here's what I want to say about the Lagos Marathon, because that's really not the focus of our discussion today. But I have the Lagos Marathon is growing.
Yes.
This is the 10th edition. But I tend to feel like there's something missing. And I explain that, this year, Edward Kibet, a Kenyan, won the Lagos Marathon, and he walked away with $50,000. He was winning it for the second time, but he won it like 2 years ago. $50,000, that's some crazy money. And I did the conversion to Naira, it was 75 million Naira, right?
That's huge.
Yeah, but the guy's gone. The stories have ended. Do you get? That's 75 million bucks to a guy. He gets on the plane to Kenya, and that's the end of the story. And I think to myself, if you pay that kind of money to a Nigerian, like maybe this was a Nigerian marathon, and the winner gets $50,000, what kind of reaction do you think would follow? I mean, that's 75 million bucks.
Yeah, what I would just say is, the same way a Kenyan is coming to Nigeria to get such amount of money, Nigerians too are also going to other countries to do well and also go with big money too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I feel if we want to do it normal, like local Nigerian, like the Lagos Women Run, so they do it.
It's an Access Bank thing?
No, it's not an Access Bank thing. They do. And also, if the Lagos Marathon is not all about giving Kenyans money. There's first Nigerian, second Nigerian, third Nigerian. So they have some certain amount of money that they will go home with. And also, as it also replicates to the female too. Any female that come first in the Lagos Marathon, they have first Nigerian female,
they
second Nigerian female.
Yes, the first prize is
because you can't compare the Kenyans, the way they run to we Nigerians too, because one marathon is Kenya stuff, like that's what they are good at doing, that mountain climbing and all that. But we have our own strengths, we also have our own weakness in Nigeria. So I feel if a Kenyan comes to Nigeria and is going back to his country with such huge amount of money, he has worked for it. And
okay, so she's putting in a more professional way than I would. Me, I'm blinded by this thing, by my own personal emotions, and I've got to make that clear. And also because of the principles of business that guide how these things are done. If I'm a businessman and I'm putting that kind of money in sports, today what I want to see is that it's generating stories for me. It's generating a lot of stories. I'm creating stars, right? Stars are the people that fans follow, and sponsors follow the fans, right? I think that locally we need to understand that what you need to do is get Nigerians talking about this. So you pay somebody, I don't mind if you pay the Kenyans 75 million or 100 million. Pay the Nigerians something that would then make them sustain the value in the course of 1 year. Because if the top Nigerian, like this guy, Nyang Boyi, Nyangyang Boyi, the guy from Jos, that finished top and even made eighth, you know. He got $4,000. If that guy had like $20,000, when he goes back to Jos, he'll be a monumental star.
Yeah, and another thing again.
And they'll take his pictures everywhere. People will talk about it. All these bloggers are everywhere. They won't let him rest.
Yeah, another thing again, I think Lagos City Marathon is an international event, because I don't know how they started, but I know they started from local first. But now
they did local.
Yeah, I think now is an international well standard marathon race, and of which every other country to want to also
participate. Yeah, but that's fine. All I would say is, when we do these sort of things, we should do like the week before the international marathon, you do a local marathon. Okay. Do you understand? Because if you don't give me stories, like now, like I said to you, Access Bank, there's probably $1 billion would have gone down this thing. And nobody's talking about it. So we need to look at that. But again, so let's talk about your own. Okay, so you're already educating us about how these things work. Do you understand?
I'm sorry to say this.
Yeah.
When you are not in-house, you won't really know what they are doing. You get, because it's not how the story, the host will tell everyone. You get, there's some things they just keep to themselves, and why some they just know. You know, Nigerians, we like this. When once you open up too much, it's either you get yourself into trouble or you get yourself out of problem.
Oh, you've learned that. You know what I'm saying? That's been the story. You understand? So, I was hoping that maybe your generation would have a different sort of culture. You know what I mean? Because it's a debilitating culture where you have to keep things.
So I feel they are doing well. Lagos City Marathon, the brains behind it, and those that make sure that this year worked perfectly and everything is going fine. You know, a lot of people may not talk about it, but there are people that are talking about it. But it's just that we in-house, outside, we don't really know. Like when you check their page on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, you will see a lot of things. You will see them collaborating with few athletes, trying to promote. The athletes are promoting the event. They are also collaborating with them in terms of when they post, they also tag them, and a lot of people are saying so many things about them. It's just that the situation of the country now is making people not to really, really put interest in so many things.
Yeah. What's the situation of the country?
Hardship.
Hardship. You see, that's the point. The point is sports should contribute to, you know. Okay, so let's talk about photography.
Okay.
How did you get into photography?
Yeah. Like, I'm a big fan of soccer, football.
Okay.
I was actually playing football then in secondary school, CMS Girls Grammar School. So we played Lagos Principal's Cup and all that. So you
played?
Yeah, I played. I was even the captain of my team then.
Wow, cool.
So from there, I decided to let me do something else. So I met one of my mentors. So I told him I wanted to go for shoemaking. So my friends were like, "Oh, you're always saying you want to be the best photographer in the world." I was like, I was only joking then. Then in secondary school, when they are using those Nokia phone, I was only saying, I want to be the best photographer. So along the line, so I was trying to come up with something to just do. So I decided to go to a photography school with the help of my mentor, Mr. Toby Emmanuel.
Here in Nigeria?
Yes, Toby Emmanuel at Ikorodu. So I went. So when I was going to the vocational school, so I told myself, I want to be very different from every other photographer. I don't want to be a roadside photographer. I need to merge this photography to what I love and what I left. So I decided to let me just go for sports, because I did my own research and I saw that, there are not plenty female doing this. At least I should be able to start from somewhere. So I started. I finished from there. I called him that I'm done with my course. So I went for internship IT, New Telegraph newspaper. So from there, I started doing the little things I can. And the person I was working for, Mr. Suleiman, was always there pushing. Mr. Salami Adekunle, Mr. Charles Dia. So they always pushing. You know, New Telegraph is at Akme Road. It's very closer to Agege Stadium, and that's the soccer temple. You get Agege Stadium. There's always sports.
Was it during the MFM days?
MFM days, yes. So from there, I was just going. So then I don't even have my own personal camera. I was always renting camera. Not until when my mentor decided to let's do a GoFund. So let's get a camera for myself. And thanks to everyone that made that dream came.
Oh, so it was a GoFundMe that got you your first coming?
Yes, GoFundMe.
Oh, really?
So he reached out to people, his friends, his colleagues. So of which I don't want to mention names so that I won't omit other people's name. But I'm so grateful. I'm grateful that a lot of people turn up and I was able to achieve that. And from then, the chief editor was like, "Oh, Justina, you don't need to just focus on this. You need to go back to school. You need to go back to school." So I decided to go to Yabatech, did my OND. While doing my OND, I am a part-time student. I was still shoveling my education, my IT, and also I was also going for my photography jobs like that. So, and today it's a big story.
Okay, that's excellent. That's good to know. I'm going to ask you about what opportunities there are for if a young lady wants to follow in your footsteps, or if a young guy wants to follow in your footsteps. The whole point of this program is to let them know that look, there are opportunities in sports beyond being an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, you could be a photographer, you could be a coach, you could be, you know, whatever. But they need to understand how they can make a living from that. How that is not how that's going to be a respected way to earn a living. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we're going to talk to you about that. But we have Amaechi with us now. Yeah, Amaechi, how are you?
Okay. Yes, sir. I'm fine.
Amaechi, do you know this young lady in the studio with me?
Yes, I do, because I think I've seen her many times at the Uyo based on Spike Close matches.
So she's a star. Okay, so let's talk about you. What did you go and do in Uyo? I thought you were all about Rangers and.
No, Uyo is only based on Spike Close matches.
Okay.
Anytime Spike Close have their home matches, anytime they have their home match, normally they play that Uyo. So I always travel to Uyo with my media people, as well as my cameraman and the editors. So we always go to Uyo, to cover Spike Close matches.
Do with the MPFL, like I told you, most young people these days, they've been taken over by foreign football, right? The most popular, of course, is the English Premier League and La Liga and the like. I hear you're doing all of these things for the MPFL. Why are you doing it?
Okay, see, I like that question, because I have had a podcast with some people here in the Enugu, and we discussed about our youth. Let me just say this thing now. I spent 10 years and 8 months in abroad. 10 years and 8 months in abroad before coming back home for this MPFL of a thing. So, I learned one thing. You cannot see where their youth are discussing about African football. You cannot see any media in Europe or in Asia discussing about African football. They only talk about their own domestic league football. Nobody talks about Nigerian league or talk about South Africa or Zimbabwe or no. You can't hear where they're talking about it. So I feel like if you come to Nigeria here, almost all our youth, even people that have already established platform, social media platform like YouTube, Instagram, when you go to their platform, they only talk about, EPL, Premiership, Spanish League, something like that. You can't see them talk about MPFL, Enugu Rangers or Remo Stars or Yimba. You see? So we made a podcast last year. We told the NFL, you see, anytime they have Spy Ghost matches, you see all the bloggers, they are not talking about MPFL. You cannot see them in any match like Heartland FC or Yimba. You cannot see them there. But once they have any Spy Ghost match, all of them will be there at you fighting. And the worst thing is that after that match, they will go back to their states and only focus in talking about EPL. They will never talk about anything in MPFL. And it's not good at all. So I told myself, why? Here in abroad, nobody's talking about African football. Nobody's talking about Nigerian football. Nobody's talking about Rangers, Yimba. But when you come to Nigeria, all our youth, in all their platforms, they only talk about Chelsea, Man U, Liverpool. I'm not happy about it. So I told myself, I am going home to establish a media platform that will only talk about MPFL, only MPFL. So what pushed me, was because in abroad, I didn't see any youth there talking about African football. So I feel like, we Nigerians, we need to do something to help our MPFL. Government cannot do everything. You know, our youth here, they always feel like government should do everything. For me, I don't have that kind of mentality.
But
I have this
to be
mentality
fair,
of trying to help.
Amaechi, to be fair, yeah, there's a new consciousness in the media about the MPFL. In fact, the people driving the MPFL in the media are young journalists. All right, so there's a lot of that that's beginning to happen. And to be honest, it's my generation that I blame for the way things went. So I feel like the younger generation is beginning to right the wrongs. You are one of them. I think Justina too is one. I mean, much of what I see her do is Super Eagles and the local league and all of that. So maybe there is hope. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now they are now doing it, because even here in Enugu, when they see my platform, the way I'm posting about Enugu Rangers, their videos, their photos, talking about the players. Some of them now, they are now coming. If you come to any Enugu Rangers match, attend their you will not see many medias are coming. But before, like when I started this, only me, you only see me as an individual media there. Only me as an individual media. But now, if they have their match now, attend their seat, you come there. You see, we reach up to 10 medias trying to cover their matches, talk about players, and even do fire reactions. So the youth are now coming to talk about MPFL. But what I'm saying is that they focus much in talking about EPL, Spanish League. It's not bad, because that's where they can cash out. Talking about MPFL, you don't cash out easily. It's not that easy to cash out in MPFL, because when you are promoting players that people don't know, it's not be easy for you to make it. But for me, I don't care about making money out of it. I just want to, be, among the people that will be talking about MPFL, not just talking, but be one of the people that will be very serious about MPFL. In Enugu here, when you talk about a promoter of Enugu Rangers, they will count me. Okay. They will count me as number one. And I'm not doing it to make money. They are not paying me. Yeah. I'm just doing it because I have decided to promote MPFL, only MPFL. So because I play in Enugu Rangers, that's why people see that I'm talking much about Enugu Rangers. Yeah. It's not just Enugu Rangers, it's for MPFL.
Okay. So let me hear your take on what he has said, because you do some work with the MPFL as well.
Yeah, yes, I do.
So what do you think? How do you think we can win this war? Because it is about money at the end of the day. Yeah. If we don't win this war, the opportunities that young people are crying that they can't see today would not be there. So we're all in some way, we all have a stake in this. So how do you think we can win this war?
Yes, you said the new generation have started doing it already, and you blame the older generation. So the only thing I can say is we are doing it, the new generation, we are doing it, we are pushing. The likes of Pooja, Toby Adepoju, Mike the Pundit, a lot of them, even Ademola, Victor, so when you check them on the social media, you see what they are doing. And during those days, there was nothing like monetization, Facebook, social, whatever. We're always doing newspaper, we read newspaper, but now the social media has opened a lot of people's eyes. So everybody's going, they were doing it for passion before, but now they've seen how the players are growing every day. Like I do tell some of the female footballers, because I do more of NWFL too, and sometimes MPFL. When I'm talking about NWFL, people looking at me that you that are very quiet, so you can even talk about sport like this. I say yes, because I take their pictures and I know some little things going on. So the thing is, I do tell players that before anybody will promote you, you should be able to promote yourself. You should be able to push yourself. You should be able to go back to your drawing board and check. I don't want to be good alone in playing football. At least when they call me for interview, I should be able to speak. I should be able to use my social media well to interpret some lines for my own self. Yeah. So we've started it already, the younger generation, the upcoming, we've started already. And my prayer is that the structure should be very, very solid. And let's keep doing what we are doing now. So there should not be anything like setback or derail. So that's what I can say.
Okay. Look, on that note, we're going to take a very short break. And when we come back, we're going to start talking about, where young people can start seeing opportunities in sports. I know I have a photographer in the studio with me. Amaechi is really about the passion of it. But there's even in what he's doing, and this is something that you alluded to, there's opportunities to monetize the sort of popularity that you can get from domestic sports if we get it right. All right, don't go away. We're going to be back in a short while, and when we return, the business continues. Hello there, you're welcome back to Sports Business with Orufuo Ezaga, and you're watching Plus TV Africa. We're reaching live from our studios in Victoria Island, Lagos. I've got two young people in the program with us today. And if you follow the first 30 minutes, you know that it's been a very rich it was a very rich half hour that we had. All right, so we're going to continue the talk. And in the studio with me is Justina Aniefiok. And joining us via Zoom is Mr. Amaechi Nnaemeka. All right, so we're talking about this. You're saying that, look, there's money in sports, right? Or you're talking about the fact that young people are beginning to promote domestic sports. But there's big money in sport. Do you know that?
Yes, I know.
You know?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, from your perspective as a photographer, if a young person is watching the program now and they want to, they say, maybe I should try photography and sports photography. What would you advise them to?
Yeah, first the only thing I can say whenever anybody comes to me, I'll tell them, do what you know you love. Because when you love what you're doing, the days the money is not coming, you should be able to pat yourself and keep doing it. But when you go because of money, you be frustrated and you will walk out. You won't want to continue. So I do tell them, if you're going for money, go. If you're going for the passion, go. If you know this is what you love, do. But first set a standard for yourself. The days the rain comes, face it. Any day sunshine, you face it. So,
okay, but if in that, like for instance, taking photography as an example, how does the photographer make money from sports? Is it
selling your pictures?
Selling your pictures?
Yes. When you sell your pictures, like if you're going for an event, a lot of people will reach out to you. Like if there are major tournaments and you have the opportunity to be there, like now you're going, on behalf of Nigeria, you're the only Nigerian photographer there, like African photographer. So other people will see what you're doing. When you post, they will reach out. Oh, I want this, I want that. Okay, I'm going to pay for some of the pictures. So I feel that's how we will also make our money. And sometimes people want to partner with you. Okay, you're going for this trip, I can sponsor half of the trip, I can sponsor this, I can do this. So
just get me photographs.
Just get me photographs and all that.
Okay. What does it mean to say that you're a CAF? What advantage, how did you become one, and what advantage does that confer on you, like that you're a CAF and FIFA accredited photographer?
Yeah. Like when I came in, you asked how can we get media accreditation. I think they have their own site where you register. When you register, the media channel, you register, so they go through your profile and all that, and they approve. And once they approve you, there's any tournament, you apply for those tournament events. So from there, you already CAF accredited photojournalist or a journalist or a photographer, if you're a TV crew and all that. So I feel that is how it works. Even the same thing.
So it makes it easier for you to get accreditation.
Yeah, it makes you easier to go. And when you turn up for the event you applied for, so when you go for such events, your names have been written, and at least those events will also help you, not only local, your country program, sports event. You are moving out from your comfort zone to other countries to take pictures, to do whatever you know you are good at in doing. So that's it.
Okay. Amaechi. Hello, Amaechi. Amaechi, I know you are doing this thing.
I'm here.
You are doing this thing because you are passionate about it. Yeah. But is there money to be made somehow? She talked about monetization via social media. Is there anything? Are you making any money at all?
Okay.
Are you funding the whole thing yourself?
You see, like I told you, my purpose is not to make money. my purpose is not to make money. My purpose is just to help NPFA to grow. That's all. Many of them, they do come to my office to ask me the same thing. How do I make money from this? How do I make money from it? They want to join. Many of our UTF in anything, they want to join this thing that I'm doing. Because when they watch my views on Facebook, even the videos and the posts, they will see that I'm having many views, thousands of, even millions of views sometimes. But I always tell them that I am not doing this thing to make money, and my page is not monetized. My concern is to be, continue pushing Enugu Rangers videos, because I'm from Enugu State. To travel to Kano is not easy. It will not be easy for me. To go to Ogun State for Remo Stars, it will not be an easy thing for me. So I do focus mainly in the southeastern clubs in the PFL, like Yimba, Heartland, Abia Ross, and the Rangers. I am not doing it for money. I'm just trying to help them to push their videos, talk about their players. Some of their players, as I speak to you, nobody knows them. Some of the Rangers players, nobody knows them. But when you go to my page, I will tell you everything about Rangers players. So my purpose here is not just to make money. It's for my passion for football and to help MPFA to grow.
Okay, see.
That's all. Even if I'm making money from there, like I have drafted a dummy check.
Okay. So Amaechi, I'm going to ask.
Okay, go on.
I'm going to ask Justina this, and I also expect you to answer, because the feeling I get is almost as if, I mean, look, if I didn't know you guys, I'd think you're saying to make money from sports is odious. Do you understand? It's business. There's nothing wrong with making money from sports. But and like in your own case, you're promoting Enugu Rangers. It's good for them that you promote them. They're going to make money from the promotion that you're giving to them. And it's only fair to say that you at least get something in return. Do you understand? So if you have a huge following, there's no crime in monetizing it. You built it, monetize it, so that you have more funds to do even more. What do you think?
Yes, you're correct, sir. Because if you say you're doing for passion, or you said you're doing within Southeast, Enugu and the rest, and you also spoke about you can't go to Kano and other. If the days you are not around and you have your team to move, how do you fund them? Except if they are bankrolling him, or if he's strong, yes. If financially is very, very okay. Yeah. So passion is good. But for me, because my gadgets are very expensive. So if I do passion, also sometimes I also want to let the funds come, because the days my cameras are down, I can't go in person and take pictures, use my hand and take pictures. So the financial aspect is also key. It's also key.
I suppose what the young person watching the program would be thinking is, I should have passion, like you said.
Yes, have passion.
And there's
something should be coming in.
Yeah?
Yes.
But are there those opportunities? Is it easy to get those opportunities where money comes in? Yeah. Otherwise, they can go and work in a bank or go and do something else.
Yeah, the system where we have now is iPhone, Samsung. You can just take a picture, post it. Some people can crop out your watermark or the rest. And sometimes, at times, it's something that we always having issues, argue. I will just be like, let it go. And sometimes there are some important pictures I don't post. I know that, okay, these are pictures that can be helpful for me. These are pictures that, I can use it for an award or grant. Or these are pictures that I know when they reach out to me, I want these pictures. I should be able to send. It's not pictures that I will send to them, and at the end of the day, somebody has removed the logo and put their own logo.
Oh, they put their own logo?
Yes, at times some people will just come online, take your pictures, replace it with their own logo.
Anyway, Amaechi, what's your take on this?
You see, monetization is good, but if you want to do this for monetization, you will not make it. You will not succeed. Number one, if you create a page, if you create a Facebook page, and your aim is to monetize that page, you don't just monetize it in 2 months or in 1 month. It takes years, sometimes 2-3 years. So imagine that you are just waiting for that page to be monetized. So how can you do the job? How can you do it? To travel to Yimba of Aba, even to Heartland, even to Abia Warriors, it's all about money. Even for me to travel from Enugu to Uyo, I need a lot of money to do that. I will pay for lodge for myself and them too. So I am not. If my major aim is to monetize, to start making money, I can't be able to be doing this. It's not possible.
Yeah.
Because to monetize is not something that will happen in a month or in 2 months. It will take time. It will take time. That's why I'm saying that my focus, my purpose is the passion that I have for sports and to grow MPFL, not just to monetize. Even if I monetize tomorrow or next year, that's fine. I will be happy, to be making money from what I'm doing for just in But my purpose is not to make money. It's not monetization.
Okay, so Amaechi,
it's to help them to grow.
Yeah, Amaechi, I see these guys, these people in Nigeria from time to time. I see them, Nigerians, one or two, very popular guys. They do this foreign club thing. They go out all fanfare about how they're the biggest fan of one club in England and all of that. And they get I imagine they get quite some support from Nigerians big Nigerians who pride themselves with what's going on overseas. Do you get any such any such support? Do you get any such support?
Let me just say this thing now. If you are doing anything like Chelsea, that you are a Chelsea fan here in Nigeria or Man U fan, and you are supporting Man U or Chelsea, you will make it even faster than people talking about MPFL teams. Do you know why? The team that you are talking about, the whole world already know about them. The players the Chelsea players that you are, like, let's say you are talking about Drogba. Let me talk about Drogba or Lampard or John Terry. The whole world already know about Drogba. So anytime you mention about Drogba on any of your social media platform, people would like to go and view it to know what you are talking about them. But imagine that you are talking about Azik Xavier. Who knows Azik Xavier? You are talking about Joel Odo. Who knows Joel Odo? So it will not be that easy for you to be getting that fan base, that big followers. If you are doing MPFL, you will find it difficult to get more followers. But talk about Chelsea, talk about Man U. In 6 months, you get almost more than 200 to 300,000 followers. But in our MPFL, everything's about little by little. So you don't rush about money because you can't get it. People don't know much about MPFL. People don't know much about the players. So the job first is to be promoting them, continue promoting them, continue talking about them to help them grow before you can talk about money or monetization. Because it will take you time to monetize, even to get the followers.
Amaechi, I like your long game mentality. It's very critical for business success. And what do you think about what he's saying?
Yeah, he said monetization is not that important, and he has passion. Yes, we are all different, and we are wired differently. You understand? So my own take is these players is saying that people talk about Premier League, Champions League than our MPFL. Our MPFL is not like those days again. It has changed. Because
whose responsibility is it to make it like that? Because if you would agree that if it becomes like those days, the way you put it, then all of you are going to be making money.
It has changed because the tempo of the games, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to win away. Everybody wants to win home games. So it's not like, I don't know what has been happening before, but currently now, I think during the weekend, Remo Stars and Enugu Rangers, they played. I was watching some highlight online. I was like, yes, this is it. So if there can be a massive turnout in Enugu, Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, and in Kano State, massive fans are coming out to watch. That's to tell you that a lot of things are beginning to change and a lot of things are being put in place. So if they're complaining about, we can't allow our leaders or those in the board to do everything, it should start with the team first. If there's a structure in the team and they have their own standard and there's a way they can go around it and push themselves.
Here's what I tell people, right? Sports is big business. It's big money, yeah? And I'm not going to sit down here and wait for the NFF or the MPFL to misbehave as they like, right? And by so doing, then endanger my own business interests. Do you understand? Because as long as we let them do the nonsense that has happened for a long time, for so long would all of us be diminished by the lack of opportunities that would result into. You know what I mean? So, I really don't, I feel like my role is just as important as the role of NFF president, MPFL chairman. It doesn't matter. If you do the things that are not right and you're killing you're putting sand in all of our gari, we'll kick you out. We should kick you out. Do you get? Anyways, to Amaechi, there's a point he made that I want to contest. And I think it's because, Amaechi, we don't live in a society where we take data seriously. And that's the point that when you talk about foreign clubs as a Nigerian journalist, you gain more traction. You know, my friends say that. Even in the media, they say that. But I look at their pages. The day they're talking about foreign news, I see the numbers. When they're talking about a big match in Nigeria, I see the numbers. All right? So, and I tell people that when you talk about when there's a big match in the MPFL and it is huge. You get numbers. People are interested. But the media is just stuck in the notion that, what sells is European football. That's not true. If a known media guy, a big media name, says something about the local league, I see the traction that they get. Do you get? But they refuse. They go and talk about. I took pictures of one's engagement and I sent to him. I said, "You say that local league doesn't generate interest, but look at this. Your post. It's MPFL. Look at the bottom. Look at the engagement. Look at this post you did of the English Premier League. Look at the engagement.
There's no engagement in our MPFL now. The guys out there, they are trying their best.
Yeah.
The thing is that we can't do more than what we can do. We just do our best and leave the rest.
Yeah.
But for someone to tell me that, the Premier League and Champions League are moving, any day that are playing important games, like when Ikorodu City played against Kano Pillars, that was a very, very huge game because Ahmed Musa was there.
Yeah.
You get, so the traffic will be very, very high and massive. But sometimes the days they play this game, maybe working days. If it's on a weekend, you get, but that shouldn't be an excuse.
Yeah. No, but it's a valid, and the league needs to think about that. You can't go and play matches when people are at work. Do you get? If it is that you have to have floodlights, then work on getting floodlights. They did it during those the Shewudiko days of LMC. They did that. They were playing Friday night matches. So there's nothing that says we can't do it now. Do you understand? So, but again, you're the media. We have to sit on their necks. Do you understand? So that they give us the result that we want. Amaechi. Hello, Amaechi. Yeah, so you heard what we're saying. Amaechi, it is not, I don't think it is the case now that, the European football is that far ahead when it comes to engagement. I think that if popular journalists speak on local stuff, the engagement I see is really very impressive. Or you don't think so?
Yeah. You see, like when in our MPFL, when you talk about any Rangers and talk about Yimba or Kano Pillars, you see these three teams now. And okay, let me just count Remo Stars among them, these four teams. Anytime they have match, I always go for their matches. Because they are the only team that can give that big engagement. Yeah, you see, but you cannot compare them like EPL, where all the 20 participated team in their league. Just talk about any of them, you'll be getting the engagement. Talk about any of their players in that, you get the engagement. But in our MPFL, they have big teams in MPFL that when you talk about them in Nigeria today, people in the Kano, in the West, in the East, they would like to hear about any Rangers, about Yimba. But not like a team like you talk about Sporting Lagos FC or you talk about Gombe United, they will not give you that kind of engagement. But that's not my concern. That's what I'm telling people. If you want to do this thing for MPFL, you have to do it for MPFL. Forget about the engagement, forget about the monetization. Just do it for the passion first.
Yeah.
Then if you are getting the engagement, fine. If you get monetized in the future, fine. But in MPFL, talk about any Rangers, you get the engagement. Talk about the Yimbo of you get the engagement. Kano Pillars and now Remo Stars, you'll be getting the engagement. But you can't compare them with Spanish League. When you talk about Barcelona, Madrid, any team there in La Liga, you will get the engagement and you get the fan base. The same thing with EPL. So that's what I'm trying to say. In our MPFL is mainly the big teams, especially that multiple teams in MPFL, like Rangers International, Eyimbo of Aba, Kano Pillars, and the Remo Stars. You will be getting, just go for any of their match. If any Rangers have away match, I will go to Aba for their home match. If Aba have their away match, I will go to Heartland FC. Because these are the teams that can give you the engagement. These are the teams in the Southeast that people want to hear. In our Southeast today, talk about anything like United Tornadoes, Gombe United, Nobody cares. But you talk about Eyimba of Alabama, talk about Rangers or Remo Stars are coming to play against any Rangers or Eyimba. Even their governor will do free tickets for all of them.
Okay, but come. Oh, see, I need to put. See, Amaechi, we need to put. I need to put this
not
in.
like EPL.
Okay, Amaechi, I need to. The diaspora Nigerians, right? Do you get the sense that they are interested in the MPFL? Do they reach out to you, or do they reach out to you at all to talk about the MPFL clubs? Because, like, if you take me for instance, I've been a Brendel Insurance fan forever. All right, that's the club I supported. And you didn't call Brendel Insurance, my friend. Brendel Insurance is a global club. So add Brendel Insurance to your list.
And also add Ikorodu City to the Ikorodu City, because it's just talking about Enugu, Eyimba. Yes, I know that's where it's situated. That's where it's staying.
Yeah, but Southwest.
If every other, even in the north,
Ibadan Shooting Stars.
Yeah. Even Kwara, even Lagos, Lagos. A lot of people are talking about them, but it's just that you won't know because you are far from them. Yeah. When you go to the north now, Kano Pillars want to play. Full stadium. When you go to Shooting Stars, people will turn up massively. Remo Stars, everybody will come. Even Lagos, we don't have large numbers, but people will always turn up. And any game they play in Lagos, Ikorodu City is playing anybody, it's always top notch. Because people want to come and see what the young boys are doing, because they are new to the league. Okay,
look, it's been an engaging 1 hour. Amaechi, thank you very much for your contribution. Amaechi, look, I really want to talk to you some more, because I like your passion and I like the way you're thinking about this. The reality is, Nigeria is a huge country in Africa. We have 230 million people. Out of that number, about 150 million are people that are classified as young Nigerians. If you get Nigerians behind the MPFL, you get global sponsorship for the league. Bigger than South Africa, bigger than Egypt. And this is a goal that we have to score, in football parlance. Do you understand? So I like what you're doing, and if there's any way this program can support your vision and your efforts, would happily do that. Just to know, I didn't know Amaechi until, was it yesterday, Amaechi, or Sunday?
Huh?
I was telling Justina that I didn't know you until yesterday or Sunday. I'm not sure. And it was
after Rangers against the Remo Stars.
Yeah. So, and it was the MPFL that brought us together. So good thing, MPFL is creating good things for us, Abi, isn't it? And same thing here. Yeah. So your last word, please, so that we round up the program. As a photographer, you're open for people to engage you.
Yes, I'm open.
And it's just sports?
Sports, every other event.
Other events as well?
Other events, yes.
All right. And it's Justina Aniefiok?
Yes, Justina Aniefiok, or you can call
it Justina Aniefiok.
At Justina Aniefiok, or Just Photos.
Just Photos?
Yes.
All right. I think I'm going to be talking with you very soon. All right. And then Amaechi.
Okay, thanks for having me here. I'm so much happy, because I feel like, when you called me yesterday about this, I was child, maybe people in Lagos are not seeing what I'm doing here in the state. Yeah. I feel so, because I was thinking that only people in the southeast are seeing my job, the way I'm talking about MPFL. So I'm happy. I feel like it's a motivation for me. Okay. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. So there you have it. The MPFL has gone national. They know him. He knows you. So well, that's our program for the week. Yeah, it's been an engaging 1 hour. We're going to be back again next week, Tuesday, with another exciting edition of Sports Business with Orufuo Ezaga. And until we do so, this is me saying, be productive, be good, and stay safe.